I recently spoke with Dr. Jennifer Lincoln, an OBGYN and author whose social media posts on this topic have gone viral in recent weeks. I asked her to put her finger on the pulse of the nation when it comes to the abortion debate in America.
I do think that this is a wedge issue that is unfortunately making people more polarized. And it's sad because the majority of Americans did not want Roe v. Wade overturned, but it's become this political issue that the Conservative Party has brought to the forefront to make it seem that that's not the case. And so, yeah, I do feel that it's polarizing people. What I'm seeing is a lot of rage, a lot of discontent. We're calling it the summer of dissent. And when you see cases like what's happening in the news with that 10-year-old pregnant child who was raped, it's hard to not have a reaction. I think even for people who maybe originally felt that the overturn of Roe v. Wade was a good thing.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I want to talk to you about that. There's been a lot of focus on that case of that 10-year-old that you mentioned in Ohio who was raped and became pregnant. We know she had to travel across state lines into Indiana because of the restrictions in place in Ohio. Wondering, what do you think it says about the state of the country right now that this horrific, life-changing incident for an innocent child became such a political flashpoint?
It's disgusting. It's disgusting that we would prefer this 10-year-old child, a victim of sexual assault, stay pregnant just to fit the narrative of those who are anti-abortion. Even as we saw people high up who were saying that this didn't happen, this was a lie, who then, since obviously that's been found to not be the case, they have then deleted their tweets. I mean, it's just one of these things where we see it's not just about abortion, it's about control, it's about controlling the narrative, and that we can even be so extreme to say, even for a 10-year-old child who was raped and sexually assaulted, it would be better for her to carry that pregnancy to term. I as a parent of kids around that age, I can't wrap my head around that, even if you personally feel that abortion is not right for you. It's really hard to comprehend.
What do you think the end game is here for people like yourself fighting for abortion rights to be protected?
Oh, that is the million-dollar question. I mean, I think we should focus on the end game of what those who are celebrating the end of Roe and who are saying, well, this is just so that we can send it back to the states, when we know that their end game is to get a national ban and to then further ban other things like emergency contraception and birth control. That's their end game, and so we have to be prepared for that. Now our end game is to continue to fight. And for some of us, that means getting arrested. For others, that means, like Dr. Caitlin Bernard, having to fund legal battles and security battles and putting our lives out there, because we will speak up for the voiceless, just like this 10-year-old and just like anybody else who needs this care.
All right, Dr. Jennifer Lincoln, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you for having me.